All right, diving into a token analysis today, and that is Looksrare. You guys, of course, have understood and looked at the NFT market and kind of the titans that are attacking each other, I feel like. Today, we're going to break it down for you. My name is Paul Barrow. Welcome back to TechPath. You look at Looksrare, then you can go over to OpenSea and take a look at the two platforms, essentially. Now, how do they compare? We're going to try to go into the detail of that, but more focused on Looksrare because there's a lot happening within the NFT space, especially around Looksrare and kind of their attempt to essentially take the #1 position away from the grasp that OpenSea has on the NFT market. I want to jump to all of this today, but before we get started, thanking our sponsors, and that of course is FTX.us. I would recommend, if you are looking for an exchange app and you really want to jump into something cool and functional, get into FTX. They've got a lot of new features, a lot of new functions that I really like. One of the key elements, though, that I like more than anything is the app itself. And I've just, click the link below. Just go to ftx.us/apps. You'll be able to just go over here and take a look at both the Android and the Apple version of this. Easy to get on the iOS store. And of course, it is one of those apps that I just feel like is very natural in how you use it on a mobile device. And that's one of the key things for me in trading is I want it to be quick, I want it to be very responsive, and I also want it to be very usable for the need when I'm ready to start doing a trade, because getting a slow app or an app that's causing a problem, that's an issue. Definitely check that out. Also understand that this is one of those exchanges that I would say right now, one of the best values out there in terms of exchange fees. So check out ftx.us. You're going to love it. Of course, just check the link below for more details. And of course, let's get into this today because this is an interesting thing that has really kind of come up around Looksrare, and that is the whole aspect of wash trading. Now, wash trading, clever NFT traders exploiting crypto, unregulated landscape, wash trading on Looksrare. Again, this is an illegal action inside of securities. So in the stock market, definitely this is something that people have done where they'll go in and sell assets, then resell them to drive volume. Same thing that's happening is over on Looksrare, and you can almost watch this actually occurring within the transactions like on DApp Radar and some of those elements. But this is something that I think we got to be very careful of when you are in the NFT space. Now, there are some massive and very good values out there in NFTs, especially in the collectible market. I am a big fan of Vivi. I like the app. I like what they're trying to do over there. But even to a certain extent, all of these platforms have bad actors. Bad actors are going to cause these things to occur. So what I want you guys to be fully aware of is if you're investing in the token Looks, or if you're over on Looksrare in the NFT space looking at potentially acquiring an NFT, just be cautious. Take a look at who you're buying it from. Make sure that the track record and the function of acquiring that NFT, do the research in essence. It's very important. But when you look at 80% of their volume now being accused of Looksrare being on wash trading, which means they're taking and buying an asset over and over to create a new floor price and essentially inflating the value of these assets. That's a problem in the NFT space. One thing to be aware of, and this is something we brought up just in the crypto pit today, and that is if you look at where the markets are going, and many people and analysts are kind of pointing to potentially another Bitcoin correction. Now, even though we're seeing Bitcoin right now trying to hit the 40K mark, which has been up quite a bit from its $33,000 low, $32,000 low. We thought we might see a sub 30 Bitcoin. But if we do get another correction on Bitcoin, the likelihood is we'll see a little bit of a tumble in many of the altcoin projects. The one, though, that concerns me is if we do get a major correction both in the stock market and with Bitcoin, is that the one place that I think will get hit the most is going to be traditional NFTs that do not have utility. Now let me explain that, because if you're new to NFTs, there are two types. One is an NFT that essentially is a piece of JPEG art. And a lot of the early JPEGs and NFT art that were put out on places and projects like OpenSea, some of those have turned into unbelievable projects and have evolved since that and become something very big. If you look back at Crypto Kitties, CryptoPunks, You even look at Bored Ape Yacht Club. All of those kind of have those initial earnings from what is more of a JPEG. But what's happened in some of these projects is they started to create and add in utility. Once you start adding in utility, now you've got something that starts to create value, because those, depending on what the utility is, because value could be event access, additional blind boxes, other value that's driving back into the community, or even access, which is usually going to be a big one when it comes to that. Of course, utilities in game assets and NFTs are inside the game, so they become a workable utility that you can use inside the game itself. So all of that makes perfect sense. Those are the kind of NFTs that will have long life because of one thing, and that is the metaverse. The metaverse will, of course, solve all things. The metaverse fixes that, so to speak, when you look at that. But here's another one right here. Nifty news, this was right here. The Lennon collection, Gucci and Lamborghini NFTs, Atari's 50th anniversary. All of these kind of things are moving to this space. And I think as we see more major movement into the NFT space, you're going to see a lot of people adapting and becoming NFT collectors. And that could be everything from comics to collectibles on Vivi to going into Looksrare or over on OpenSea and finding the right kind of artist or person that you might like to follow and going in and starting to collect on these. But remember, many of these NFTs that are not utility driven will go to zero. It just is going to happen. Now, I know right now we're seeing massive moves, and most likely that is going to continue for a certain amount of time. And I think that's going to be something that we'll continue to take a look at here on the show. One thing I want to do is give you guys a tool that we use here quite a bit, and that is DAP Radar. Just go over to dapradar.com. You can start jumping around in here, but the one I wanted to show you was the marketplaces. And really, if you look at what's happening right here with Looksrare, look at this right now. We've got 11,900 traders, interesting, versus 250,000 traders right here on OpenSea. The difference is 3.87 billion. This is the 7-day, 3.87 billion in trading volume versus 1.34. So you can see where this whole issue of wash trading is a big, big problem. And I think this is one of those things that you have to be aware of and continuously watching whether or not we'll continue to see this kind of activity on Looksrare, and whether or not they can hold this position of highest volume, because that's going to be a factor I think that a lot of people are going to look at, especially when they get into the idea of investing in the token itself. Here's a tweet right here from Sloshy. I made a calculator comparison to OpenSea and Looksrare trading fees. Let me zoom up on that just to show you a little bit what he did. Is a rough calculation on looks you'll receive when you sell on Looksrare. Remember, there's rewards that are given back to you. So in this situation, this was a look price of $4.33, ETH price 2,600, estimated 24-hour volume. You can kind of see it 849K, and you can kind of see the listed price right here on OpenSea versus Look. So an even swap there. U.S. listed price right here, and then trading fee 2.5 versus the 2. And then, of course, royalties, same. But where you get into the scenario is right here on the trading rewards on Looks, because you do get a significant amount of rewards in this particular case. So in this, I know that's a high volume acquisition, but it gives you an idea of what this looks like in terms of comparison. So it is cheaper both on fees and also because of the rewards when you are looking at acquiring some of these NFTs. So just be aware that is happening. This is another thing too, just Looksrare updates. This coming from Zod Looksrare. And I like the fact that we're seeing this kind of movement in the space. I'm just very cautious on platforms like this because of the fact that this usually draws in the bad actors. And when you see enough bad actors in a project, then it can really start to affect things. Not to say that if you're super educated in NFTs and you're really savvy, this may be the platform you want to go into. But if you look at this week, sort your own collections by number of NFTs owned. You've got stale orders, now lower sale price, animation URL support, and then wrap ETH converter. You can do all these things. Right now they're doing basic transfers. The trading rewards update is done, metadata refresh, all that kind of stuff. And then there's some additional things right here. This was another tweet that I thought was really interesting. Again, a little bit smaller trading volume here, but the buyer got 3,500 in trading rewards. On OpenSea, they would have gotten none. So this is another factor that is really leaned in to utilizing Looksrare, especially for a lot of these NFT artists and these NFT collectors. There's people out there right now that are making bank on NFTs. And if you are diving into something, whether it's NFTs or the metaverse, this is one of those platforms that you just have to go pay attention to. So it's interesting to continue to kind of see how that goes. But if you look at this right here, new all-time users, in unique users, new all-time high, organic volume, which we just saw, also all-time high in organic transactions, third most total volume since launch, fifth consecutive day of organic volume growth. All of that, probably nothing. Again, what I'm saying is be very, very cautious of what you're doing if you're collecting NFTs and you are getting out there in the space. And if you guys are out there and you're on Looksrare, I'd love to get your comments below on which one you're actually finding. Maybe are the deals really there? Are you getting the kind of rewards that you think you were really getting? Are you maybe considering to go the Looksrare route over the OpenSea route? I'm just kind of curious on the NFT collectors that watch our show, where that is going for you guys. I want to go over to just a quick look at the chart, because this is going to get into a little bit of the detail of where this has kind of come from. Now, we put sentiment data on Looks, which is the token. We pulled this back here on January 28th. This token has really had a lot of activity. Right here is your sentiment flow. So it's been moving up. We saw a high right here at $5.32. It's trading currently and starting to bust out of the sentiment zone right now. But this sentiment, look here, 73.82, amplification score at 72.88. Right now we're trading this on January 31st yesterday. Sentiment jumped up to 78.22 and an AMP score of 78.14. Again, anytime we see an AMP score starting to encroach on the same sentiment score or better, you're going to see movement. And right now, that's what's happened with Looks. That token has absolutely exploded. Just to give you an example of where this thing was trading at $4.04 to where it is right now at its top at 41% on the day trading. So you have to pay attention to these things. What I recommend anytime you are looking at swing trading, day trading, those kind of things, you've got to be aware of what's happening in the space. Do your deep dive research. When we do these market movers, the idea is pretty simple. We give you the research, we'll give you things like this, like we've got a big sentiment trend on this one, but it's not investment advice. This is hopefully putting you guys in the right direction in terms of research, because research to me is the thing that fuels the fire on how you get into projects and whether the projects, whether it's an NFT project, a token, maybe you're not into NFTs, but you're into the token side and you want to invest in Looks, and really go in that direction. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I think you can weigh out the research and really take a look at how this particular token can respond. Now, in my opinion right now, we're a little bit oversold or overpurchased on this one, meaning we're probably going to see a little bit of activity moving downward. Now, can this continue to climb? Sure. With the kind of news and also just the fact that it is starting to become a real rival to OpenSea and really kind of came out of nowhere, not really, but to a certain extent, has really ramped up and become a true rival to OpenSea. I think that in the sense that OpenSea does not have a token, OpenSea is seeking IPO. We've talked about that on the show before. Looksrare might be, the common person's way of being able to invest in the NFT market without really knowing or getting into NFTs deep. So lots of different angles there when you look at it. I want to go to its all-time, just so you guys can kind of see. Very young project right here, January 2022, jumping right here to its all-time high right here on the 20th, which we saw at $7. That's the concern right now. A lot of people, if we are overheated on NFTs, could we see another pump to $7? That's the real question. I'm going to keep a close eye on this one, because as we start to see this move from a sentiment standpoint, there could be some activity here. Now, we'll do this in our Crypto Power Index, so make sure and visit paulbaronnetwork.com. You can join both the Diamond Club on there, but you can also gain access upcoming soon to the Crypto Power Index, and we're going to have a new dashboard, all those kind of things coming very soon. So be watching for the buy button. You'll be able to actually get access to a lot of these data analytics that we're looking at right now. Just to kind of close this out, this is the current APR right now. This fluctuates quite a bit. This was up just an hour ago at over 670%. Now it's 637. But this is the whole aspect of staking your Looks token, which I think this right here is driving the current price of what we're seeing right now as we continue to see the APR. Remember, part of this is coming back from the community rewards. Part of that is driving into the staking side of it. And if anything, Looksrare has done a fabulous job on marketing. And that is one of the key things. If you're aware of what's happening in cryptocurrency, you understand that 50 to 60% of a token is hype. The rest of it is either core aspects and what that token can do. But in most cases, follow the hype to really understand that sentiment, because it does drive price action in the space. All right, you guys are listening in over on the podcast right now. Give us a few stars over there if you're on Spotify, because you can now rank the podcast over there, which it has been exploding over there. The Metaverse podcast, which is Metaverse Insider, and then of course TechPath Crypto. Those are the two podcasts that you can get to. Really easy to do. And of course, when you guys want to, make sure and leave us some comments below, because I want to get your thoughts on the content that you like. Do you like more NFT projects? Are you more interested in the top token analysis that we do, our top 20s, all those kind of things? Go to our website right here. I want to just show you guys real quickly. These are the two podcasts that you can jump into. And this, of course, is only helpful if you can't sit down and watch the video. If you're on the move and you got to, you're driving or something like that, and you still want to get in and catch the shows, this is the way to do it. Just click on those, and you can, of course, whether it's on the website or on one of your apps for podcasting, so easy to do. All right, if you want to reach me, it's out on Twitter @PaulBaron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.